sweet science. Sorry, I'm pretty happy. This is cool. Like, yeah, I saw in the room. It sure as shit looks like it does 4K. At least from what I saw, it looked like it did. Yeah, see, that's wild. Oh, this is sick, dude. Oh, this is so sick. This is so sick. This is so sick. Wow. Yo, I think it's doing it. I think we're on 4K. Like I'm my house looks messy as hell, but I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I got more than most of the cable networks have nowadays. If you were to come onto the internet and look for my channel, you can be in full on high definition, better than cable. That's pretty rad. Let's actually validate this. Okay, so we're at live, like it says, settings, auto 1080. No, it's wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is max 1080p. It may be doing that on the basis that this is an account that's not, like a YouTube premium account. And so I think that is what's happening there. I'm going to stay here. I'm not moving. Fuck that. I'm not moving. I'm staying here. I'm happy as hell. Like, this shit works. I have a full on channel now where I have wide format video footage. So, I mean, I'm happy. This is cool. Now we just need to figure out a good way to, have everything all like compact and easy to kind of go. Because right now, like, it's kind of cool, but the camera is as big as the microphone, and the actual streaming server, which at this rate is really a glorified browser. Like I could probably run something like a Pi Zero, thinking about it. Yeah, I'm really happy because I mean I'm here and at this point this is honestly I've been fucking fighting this shit for like at least the last 3 days I've been fighting this, It's kind of funny. I think my old coworkers be like, "What kind of crackhead are you? Why weren't you just doing this with your job?" I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I knew this was gonna happen. Like, it's nature. It's like sort of the way nature works, right? We're gonna figure out a better setup as well for how to present all this. This is just here because there is an outlet behind you. And frankly, I don't really know where another good spot would be to place this camera. That would be, Um, there is it's missing at this moment, but there is a bigger tripod, and that bigger tripod was ultimately kind of I was thinking that tripod could use to sit like right here on this table. Oh, this is so sick, dude! Like, you don't understand. There's no computer, and furthermore, like I don't need them. I don't need them fucking mocha bonded, bricks to be able to do this now. I never needed them because I'm using fucking these right here, right? This AC 300, and this uses USB 3.0, but I'm not even using USB 3.0. I'm actually using USB 2.0 in this spot right here. So yeah, it's solid. So some observations, right? So I do have a thing right here, an NVMe drive right here. I did notice that fingernails are dirty. Sorry. I did notice that it is kind of warm right here, but it's not like arduously hot. So that is something to consider. Cool. Also, so I had this idea, right? And this one needs to get charged. I've got a bigger battery elsewhere close by, but the trick was you hook up. Oh, not this. This one. I need the adapter. Oh, here we go. It's right here. Here we go. Yes, the idea, right? I was thinking you hook this up, right, and now you have like a power supply, and this, in theory, could power the. This, in theory, should be able to power the Pi, right? So we would have a legitimate portable recording solution. However, I don't think it would account for the power draw from the microphone here, so that is something to consider. Although, I mean, oh, what are you looking at? There you go. That's what you're looking at. Something to consider though is, I suppose if I really didn't want to, I could just axe the microphone and just kind of use the built-in audio that's in the camcorder, right? However, I found an experience it's pretty trash. Like it's okay, it gets the job done, but it's kind of trash. Like compared to this actual microphone here that we've got in the garage, this this blue Yeti microphone. This is fantastic, actually. So yeah, that's good. Let's go ahead and turn the gain up just a hair. Yo, I am so happy. Like that, this is working. Like this is working. This was definitely an upgrade from me doing the phone. Like the phone. This is definitely an upgrade. So I would say there are a couple of detriments I have observed with this setup. I wanted to use OBS because OBS would have been better. Like OBS would have been a solid like overlay, So ultimately figuring that out, figuring out how to kind of get that going would be kind of nice. And figuring out a way to get. So OBS is awesome because it has these has the ability to like put overlays in and to be able to have a like nice looking setup where here's your face, here's the gameplay area, here's the chat window, here's all these different features, and that I loved that, and the ability to be able to have the intro cue, right, where it's like 30-second thing and then cut over the scene switching. Like it's really great, robust software. I really like it, but I need it to work reliably. I need to be able to stream. I mean, yeah, like if I I could have probably saved myself like $1,900. Like, let's see, 1,200 on the camera, 100 on the server, 100 on the card. The microphone was already part of it. Like I already had the microphone regardless. So $1,500, give or take. And I could have just gotten away with. Well, see, the thing is like I know I say that, but would it have been a good quality camera? So I had this, right? See, this is like a cheap Chinesium brand, And I'm sorry. I'm sorry if saying that was offensive. I'm sorry. So we have a foreign brand, web camera. This is full HD, which tends to mean 1080p by 60p, right? 1080 by 60. So I want to point out here, this says 2K webcam, which is kind of weird. So I think 10K. I mean, I think maybe they're saying this is 1440 is what this is capable of doing. That'd be pretty good. be open to that. So yeah, do you really truly think that this camera and this lens is going to be better than that one that I'm using? I doubt it. I doubt it. Now, the other part of this too, though, is I bought this camera, right? And I was planning to do full-on content format, uh, full boutique of content and format that goes with that. So that would have meant like actually doing video editing and planning and everything associated with that. I did have that as a plan. I never really got around to it. So, and the reason why was because honestly, the process for recording and editing is a bitch. It's a tough one. It's tough. I really need to hire somebody to just do the editing part so I can just focus on videos and having fun. And then if I did that, I would be able to produce much higher quality content. Because at this time, I'm being solopreneur, and so it's just me. So you saw for a good chunk of time, I was doing, like videos using 4K or using my phone to do a longer format of a video. And then I found out about the shorts, and I just started doing shorts like full Monty. I just became a shorts king. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing because I look at I look at channels, I look at what people do, and there's people that have like hundreds of thousands of like subscribers, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they've got a couple hundred videos, maybe 300 videos. And me, I'm pushing like 800 videos. And the reason why I have so many videos is because I've been doing a bunch of shorts, right? Like sometimes I'll do like 3-4 shorts a day. I remember 10 years ago thinking, how the hell can somebody have 17,000 tweets? I just don't fathom it. And now I'm that guy that has 17,000 tweets, but it's because, every single day I do a little bit of it. And it accumulates. So let's talk about the stuff that I had to go through to get this mini server running. So at first I was going to do this with the Rock Pi. It's called a Rock Pi. It was just a black, it was a Renegade. There we go, a Rock Pi Renegade. I liked it because it had USB 3.0 on it. And when I first looked into this, I was like, I want to get a light computer that I can do 4K streaming on. And so, initially I was looking into, can I do this with like a Rock Pi that has, custom stuff in it? It's a little bit nicer. And at first I thought I could. And so I went through the steps of building the Rock Pi and trying to get OBS to run on it. And it started working, but I ran into problems with getting kicked off. I ran into problems with just kind of trying to use it and getting kicked off. But it the components, sorry, I wasn't being clear. With having the USB 3.0 components, like getting kicked off, like didn't seem to naturally work. Or sorry, I got it reversed. Anything plugged into the USB 3 port worked fine. Anything plugged into any other ports, and there was like 4 ports, in addition to this USB 3 port, didn't work. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me why. And ultimately, it boiled down to that I needed to have a powered, I want to say powered riser, but it's not a riser, powered hub. There you go. I needed a powered USB hub to be able to get all the ports to reliably work like how I wanted them to work. And so from that, I was like, screw this. I'm just going to get an Orange Pi 5 that is, for all intents and purposes, twice as much money, but it's supposed to be a beast of a computer, and so it should be able to handle like any sort of task, and it has embedded GPU, like architecture in it. Couldn't say no. And so I did that, and I purchased that. And then I've been really busy just kind of with life and with what's been going on. And I just haven't really kind of been able to dedicate any time to it until like this past week. And so I finally, got around to try to build it and work with it. And let me tell you what happened. So first I used this guy, I think his name is Josh something. I forget your name. I'm sorry, buddy. But basically you have your own custom Debian, or sorry, Ubuntu install that's like 22.0.4 that you've compiled for this Orange Pi architecture. And so I tried it initially, and I had problems running OBS Studio. Like, I don't know why or how, but I had problems running it. I could not get it to run for the life of me off of the distro that I had set up. And so I ended up switching back over to the original official Orange Pi distribution, and I tried to install OBS on that. And I liked that one because I at least had remote access. I had problems. Like I wasn't able to access the OBS server remotely. I needed to have a screen plugged in. It was problems. It just wasn't working. And so I switched over to the official distro that Orange Pi distributes, and those problems evaporated. And suddenly it worked fine. And so that's what I did. And it was a decent experience. It did. I tried using Pi apps to install OBS, and that didn't work. And then I tried installing OBS using like a build script, and that build script didn't work. And so from that point, like just fiddling and futzing with it, I was just like, man, I think it's not working because I need to get these GPU drivers compiled for this chipset. It's not happening. So what do? I go back to that original Ubuntu distro and I reflashed it onto a bigger, SD card, and away we are off. And that so that's kind of how that started with the resolution part. And then from there, I was able to get OBS kind of compiled installed and back on there. But I found it was an old version of OBS because the version that's on Timmy, which is an AMD architecture, not an ARM architecture, which, by the way, quick pro tip, quick quo twip. What you're going to want to know is if you see any sort of computer where it has ARM, that means I think it means abbreviated RISC architecture set. So, or it probably that's not what it means. But basically, ARM, associate ARM with single board computers. ARM means tiny, power efficient, like architecture, limited architecture set that's meant to use low power to do similar computer operations. But it doesn't have everything, and so it's not as efficient. It's not as powerful as like an AMD or an Intel. And so, right. So Timmy has OBS 30.0.2, which has all these cool little like upgrades and features into it. Maybe that's the reason why I was able to reliably do 1440p. There's also actual hardware graphics cards in Timmy though, so that might be part of it too. But if you look at those live streams that I was doing while I was experimenting with them, I was running into problems. So I don't know. And I'm going to point out, sorry in advance for the loud heater, the furnace. I know that when I streamed the other day, this microphone was good enough that it picked up the dryer working. So I'm sure this is very loud. I'm sorry. Right, so I tried compiling 30.0.1 on locally, and on the Orange Pi, and I was able to get it to compile, but I was missing a couple of features in it that are just in 29.1. And rather than trying to futz with compiling a dependency so that I can be able to use it to compile OBS newer version, I just said fuck it, and I just installed the main distributed one that's 29.3, I think, or it might be 29.1. Anyhow, that's where I was at. And so we have Orange Pi, graphics card drivers, and OBS. Great. Now we need to solve remote desktop. What happens is, for some reason with this distribution, the keyring needs to be initiated to unlock and decrypt the passwords to then have your remote desktop password decrypted. However, with the way it's set up, there's a bug, and it doesn't matter what password you set in there, that password gets changed every time you reboot. And I don't know about you, but if you're trying to connect to a remote computer and the password changes every single time on reboot and you have no way to retrieve that password, that's a big fucking problem. And so I found something on Ask Ubuntu or whatever, like Stack Overflow, that pretty much the guy's workaround was you disable the keyring, you set up a you set up a clear text keyring, right? And then you save your RDP credentials in this clear text keyring, and then you go back to your main keyring and you reset that one to the default. So you create a new keyring that's clear text, set that as the default, and then with that as the default keyring, you then save your username and you save your password for your RDP in clear text, and then you go back and you change the default keyring back to the one it was. And then that way you've isolated the password that is associated with this specific GNOME remote desktop solution, and it works. And that's what I did. And so now we can RDP reliably into the Orange Pi, which is great. Everything is good, right? Ready to go. Not quite. So at this point, everything is set up, and I start trying to run it. First thing I noticed was that I only had software, which was, I think it's called H.264 encoding. That's a software-based encoding that uses your computer, like your CPU architecture, not your GPU. I wanted to use VAAPI, which I believe is video acceleration using the AMD GPU set. It's also, I think it might also be known as Vulkan as well. And that appears when you set the options in OBS server for your stream, or not for stream, for outputs to, like you set it to advanced, and then you can actually set the hardware encoding. However, the only options I had for this Orange Pi didn't work. I can't recall them right now. It was two options. I think it was AV something something and then SV AOM. I might have that wrong, but basically neither of those worked for me when I tried to, run it. I tried running all sorts of manners, combinations of things, and pretty much what was happening was I would turn on OBS, or no, I modified it so that when the computer started, OBS would turn on. So everything was ready to go. I just needed to remote in and press start. Or actually I configured the phone. There's this software called OBS Blade that I configured on the phone so that I could just, turn on the server, run on my phone, press stream, and then it would just get started. That was the goal. But yeah, life isn't as you planned. And so every single time the server would run, the OBS, the Orange Pi server would run, every single time I click start stream, 5 seconds, and then it would just die. The server would just freeze. Just froze. And so I tried all manner of combinations of bit rates. I tried all manner of combinations of resolutions. I even went back down to like I tried 1080p regular. I tried 1080p or 30, 1080p 60, and none of that worked. And then I tried to go all the way down to 720p 60, which I expected should have worked because that was what the default was when I first got it running a couple of days ago on the last live stream that I showed, where I talked about can I connect one live stream to another live stream, and I was too lazy to set up a separate streaming key to do that, but that's how that would have happened. So didn't work out, and that was just me today. Like this is me today. Like didn't work out, and spent the whole day kind of messing with it. Was pissed off. Honestly, was ready to return this orange pie. Turns out that the return window was 2 days ago. So that was a mess up on my part. That was definitely an oversight. Because I've got other Raspberry Pis. I've got other setups that I've already allocated hardware to be able to complete the rest of the print farm, to be able to do clipper across all of my printers kind of thing. I have no need for this orange pie, but alas, it's what it is. So I decided, just as a last-ditch effort, let me just try the direct streaming using the 4K, using the browser on the Pi, and was that any good? And yeah, it turns out it's working pretty well. Because I mean, it was doing 1080p, flawless, and now I think it's still set as at 1080p, but I believe it's still actually scaling up to 4K because I have it running the max possible setting on the camera. The last little bit of information that I wasn't clear about was on this camera, it's possible to change the data mode output, and when you do that, it switches in the viewfinder. However, when doing that while on a live stream, it like kind of kicks off and kills the live stream. And so at first I was thinking, oh, maybe I still can't do 4K through the browser. Oh, I cannot, because I may not be able to. Because thinking about it, after the fact, on the first stream I did, it basically said I was running ultra high latency, which the two is I'm also running ultra high latency, and so if it's at ultra high latency, then I'm not getting 4K. Yeah. But I suppose the good news is, like I said, I'm satisfied and happy with the fact that I am running the camcorder now directly to YouTube, and the camcorder does have a better CMOS compared to the phone or this 1080p full HD camera. That's for sure. That is for sure. Oh yeah, I forgot one last thing, right? So I ended up needing these dummy plugs. I did not need them for the stock Orange Pi distribution. I definitely needed them for this server here, though. They are 4K dummy plugs because, like I said, the original goal was always to do a 4K server, live streaming server. I have the bandwidth to do it. I just don't have the I don't have a computer with the right processing capability. Like I need a fairly new computer. Yeah, I need a fairly new computer with a good chunk of RAM and fairly recent generation processing power. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this, but I think the newest computer, the most powerful computer's got to be Timmy in terms of the CPU, but the newest computer is, I think, from 2020, and it's terrible. I've owned MacBook Airs, and so I've always been on this whole like ultra portable kind of thing, just because I've had big, heavy, chunking computers, laptops for a long time before that, and so yeah, like I picked up a Windows machine to be able to compete with this MacBook. Like it's like an apples to apples kind of thing. And it was not. I say that because here I am, I'm still using the MacBook 2012, so it's a 12-year-old MacBook. Yeah, it's 12. It's 12 years old. Still using it as the server for the Clipper farm. Same. I've also got another 12-year-old laptop that was the big old chunky. It was a big old chunky computer, big old chunky Windows PC. The screen died on that, and so that's the reason why I ended up switching over to the MacBooks. But that chunky computer is still being used as a Plex server. Yeah, yeah, and so the the MacBook's never been good enough to play like 1080p. Like it's always been kind of like lousy, especially 1080p 60 content. It just stutters. um, I'm not sure like what I'm gonna do for long term in terms of resolving this problem because there's still technically a problem in that I'm not doing 4K, and I would like to figure out how to do 4K with this gear here. Um, if you go on the internet, common sense will tell you should spend. And when I say common sense, I mean other people and their viewers and the people who are like, "Oh, we're professionals. I do this," right? They'll tell you to spend $2,000 to $3,000 on a gaming laptop that'll have fairly recent architecture for the GPU and for the CPU to be able to do it. But I think that is a mistake. I think that the way things are heading, like we're gonna be able to, more people are gonna be able to do stuff with this old hardware before we're shut out. So that I would like to be able to ultimately do that at some point with this computer. So that's where I'm at with that. I think that's that's that. I'm just thinking about what I could do to kind of keep it all this setup all more contained. So in theory, I could I've got these nice like um, Bluetooth headsets like Sony WXMR3s or whatever. Like they're these earbuds, right? That like noise canceling earbuds. But I'm thinking um, I could run one of those, and that can act as the microphone, and then that way I would just run the Bluetooth dongle to that, and be all the no one's the wiser. If I did that, if I did that, in theory, I should be able to have a fully remote interface. And then finally, I would like to create a script that I could use to kind of act as a low tech, push the button. So I can, you know, I was just thinking right now, I was like, maybe I should check my phone to see if I have RDP access. Because if I have RDP access from the phone, that would be fantastic. I probably wouldn't worry about that then. Yeah, like I could build a script or I could use like Selenium or something yeah, like I could like run a Selenium script or something to go through the steps of load the YouTube page, load the YouTube page, click these following buttons. But so like what I would do is I would SSH in, and then I would have a script that from SSH would I'd have a script that I could SSH in to access, and then that would kick off the browser, which would open like that specific page. Ooh. And click it to get it started. Nah, I don't know. It would be really cool if there was a way that, like I said, I could break that apart into a script, but this is empty. Practically speaking. So now that this project's out of the way, I'm gonna probably work on getting those two clacky printers actually finally done for real this time. I can't help myself. Like that's good, and that's running Clipboard. Like the Ender 5 is great, but I don't know, the Clack Ender is giving me problems with I got it. I just got it. I think I just got it. So my I just got it. I have 3 printers up here, right? 2 of the printers I'm working on configuring now, right? One of the printers kept messing with the config file, constantly doing all sorts of things and nothing updated with it. Well, those 2 printers are somewhat identical with what they have with their settings and setup. And so it is very possible that I'm plugged into the wrong printer. And so I need to swap the USB cables. Here, I'll show you what I mean. So I have Clipper, right? I just have a shortcut here. And then I created a... Oh, that's so cool. All right. So like I created like a link, right? So that this is maintail. And so as you can see, I have... oh, that's funny. I bet you I could do a trick to flip it and then it would look normal. Sorry if it looks in reverse. Oh, no, it looks normal. See, like I'm looking in the viewfinder, it looks backwards, but looking at it live on the actual viewport, it looks fine. So, right. We are going to be picking DD for direct drive. I think I picked DD. Yeah, I did. Okay. See, it kept saying Z tilt, Z position needs exactly 1 items, right? And it's been constantly doing that. And so I'm thinking the reason why it's constantly doing that, no matter what I do, is because I have the cord swap. So I'm going to go ahead and try swap them and see if that fixes it. Like I said, I wish there was a way just to make it even just a little more portable, right? Oh, but this is sick. Yes, dude, I can do the NPC podcast again. All right, so here we are. Here these are. Okay. This and this. Okay. Okay, so all I did was the super low tech solution of just swapping the port assignment, just taking one USB cable out of one and putting in the other and swapping it. So we're gonna see how that goes. Oh, I could have zoomed in. Why didn't I zoom in? That would have been cool, huh? Right there. See, would have been right there. All right. All right, so let's try this out. So we want to restart the firmware. Oh, same thing. Failure, automated reset of MCU. So let's do restart, and then let's do firmware restart. Z tilt Z positions needs exactly one items. Z tilt Z position needs exactly one items. Okay. Oh, right. Zoom. Tilt. Is that star screen? Yeah, it's star screen. That's cool. All right. I was gonna say I got an idea. I can just turn it off, maybe, but I don't want to do that. Oh yeah, see. Oh, interesting. Okay. So no. I did have it correct the first time. I did have it correct the first time. I know I had it correct the first time because I see that my controls no longer work. And that is always, for me, a telltale sign that the connection's no good. So that's that. So, yep. It's fine. Oh, interesting. Do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that? So that is the reflection of the screen on the viewfinder. Or sorry, not on the screen. The that's a reflection of the lens on the screen. It's like kind of doing a little infinity effect thing. All right. Well, that's enough messing around with this. I think we've got it determined that I do need to still figure out this Z tilt. By the way, if you are watching this and you have encountered that issue that I'm facing, how do I fix it? Show me, like, yeah, will you show me how to fix it? Yeah, if you're facing this issue, how do you fix it? Here, and I will show you what I have currently so that you can confirm with me what I'm doing right or wrong. And keep in mind, I've gone to ChatGPT multiple times. I've gone to Google. I've Googled this, so I'm stuck like a sticky wicket. I'm stuck. Ender 3. Huh. That's a little weird. Because this says Ender 3, but this should really say... This should really say direct drive. Maybe that's part of it, but probably not. Okay. Here we go. This is what I have set up here, right? Based off of what the internet was suggesting, it said you need 2 sets of values, each to go on a new line. I've also, I believe, removed the spacing, but I haven't. Let's go ahead and try to remove the spacing. Maybe that'll fix it. That would be nice if that did fix it. Oh. So you see, it kind of changed around the formatting color. I don't know. That seems like it's bad. We'll find out. So this is what I've done. So I want to click save it. And then we want to go back to the front. We want to restart the firmware restart. Oh, doesn't like that. Contains parsing errors. Okay. Cool. Well, clearly that happened because I was just messing with it. All right. Well, that's kind of where I was. I wasn't really trying to do live troubleshooting with you right now. If I'm really being honest here. No. I just kind of wanted to chill and smoke and give this live streaming server a real shot. I see it's been running live this entire time, so we're doing good. It looks like the quality's gone down a bit, but I think that's just because it's automatic. I was like, oh, am I doxing myself? Am I doxing myself here? Does this say Frankenmint Bitcoin located at? And then I give you the White House's address. I don't know. So I think about doing that sometimes. If you really want to just really mess with the world, you dox yourself, but you dox yourself with weird, like, non sequitur stuff. Like one time, I can't say that out loud because I'm gonna be doxing myself. But yeah, it was a fun one. If we ever hang out in person, you make sure to ask me that story. Tell me about that one time that you're gonna tell us this thing on the internet that you were gonna do, but you're gonna dox yourself for doing it. If you ask me in person, I will tell you what it is. I promise. Oh man, it is cold as hell. You want to film a short with me right now in real time? Yeah? Connect your devices. Create short. I wonder, I do also wonder if I go live here, is it any different? Is it 2 sets of lives? I think it's 2 sets of lives. Hey, it's Frankenmint. We are creating a loop within the timeline continuum. You see? We're recording live, but we're recording a short of recording a live. And so, in essence, we have parallel time processing happening here. With this pocket of time in place, I shall live forever, according to string theory. All right, I got to get more high. Y'all take care. Hey, it's Frankenmint. We are creating a loop within the timeline continuum. You see? We're recording live, but we're recording a short of recording a... What do we call this? Not reciprocal, regression. not regression. I should Google it. Recursive. There we go. That's what happens. Like I'm like, I need to ask for help, and then as I ask for help, I answer it. yeah. So we call this when recursion strikes. I got to tell you something. I thought about it. This is like the funniest shit, right? Like, I am 110% different, like in terms of who I was at the start of my YouTube journey versus now. Even the very first YouTube video I ever filmed, I knew what Bitcoin was. Yeah, I knew what Bitcoin was. I've totally been a Bitcoiner. Like, I've been the guy to tell you, yeah, fuck shitcoins. Buy yourself some Bitcoin. Like, I've been that guy. With that said, I've also been the shitcoiner. Everybody, that's what people won't admit to you, that you start out, you feel like you're late, and so you jump into shitcoins because it seems like an avenue to get yourself wealthy. Why on earth am I going to hold on to 100 Bitcoin if I hold on to 1,800 Litecoin? Eventually, when these Litecoin clear, $100, I'll be at $180,000, right? 1,800, or is it 1.8 million? 100, 18,000. No, it's 180,000. God damn. $180,000 or $7 or $8 million. For real though. For real. That's the difference. Although you would have had to hold it for over 10 years. That's hard. That's fucking hard. Like it's only easy to hold Bitcoin if you're already solvent. That is the answer. It's only easy to hold Bitcoin if you're already solvent. You already have a job. You already have everything working for you. So I was thinking about the secretary because it's like, yeah, I don't even really talk about Bitcoin. I don't really even go into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. And I haven't for like years in a way. I mean, sometimes I talk about it and bring it up casual, but for the most part, yeah, I don't. Like, I went as far as to like make Frankenmint all about Bitcoin. Like, I'm our Bitcoin moderator, I made it all about that. And so around 2019, I really got into guns. Love firearms, dude. Firearms are shit. Like, everybody should go through the efforts and steps to learn something about firearms. Firearm safety, how to maintain them, potentially how to build them. If you can, you should learn that. But yeah, so for the past, I don't know, 2 going on 3 years, I've been a straight up like gunner, like on GunTube, on Reddit, gun deals, on gun.deals, on Twitter. Like Print Shoot Repeat got me there, man. I freaking love airsoft replicas, it's what they're called, since I can't call them what they are without worrying about being deplatformed. And it's funny because you would think I have all the opportunity and options in the world to kind of expand and express elsewhere, but I'm of like a certain time span. Like, I'm not going to go on to, I'm not going to set up an Instagram and do this. I'm not going to set up a Snapchat. And so by default, if you are a social media service or website and you are newer than Snapchat or newer than the other one I just mentioned, Instagram, then I'm probably not going to join you. Like, I'm not joining TikTok. And the reason why I refuse to join TikTok is because had this episode of 20. I had this magazine issue of 2600 where a person went ahead and built like a Wireshark packet sniffer to see, what was what all was TikTok sending, right? And apparently TikTok is flagrant. Like they send all your data, they send all your telemetry, they send all your contacts, they send any possible thing that can be lifted, they will lift and send off. And you can say, oh, it's for innocuous purposes, but that doesn't sit right with me. And then finally, the fact that, and I get it that this is an algorithm kind of thing, but TikTok in America, like, is marketed toward, I mean, it's pivoted towards ignorance and buffoonery and make you laugh and entertainment. Whereas TikTok in China is all focused about learning and education and like there's really someone out there doing some fuck shit to the algorithm to make it to where you are getting something that's inferior but entertaining versus higher quality content that could actually be useful and utilized by all. It could have made TikTok a better platform in aggregate. Well, that's what happens. We throw away gems and jewelry and diamonds for buffoonery and junk and stuff that we think is pretty and entertaining. That's what it is. Like I think the reason why is because doing the hard thing is not fun and is time consuming and is draining. And usually you don't get the same level and effort, like you still don't get the same level of growth that you would have gotten had you just done kind of the hybrid thing or done, the cheap shotgun approach, low hanging fruit thing, which, hey, short-term profits, but hey, long-term quality shit. That's what it is. That's the reason why any place that becomes popular or any sort of concept that becomes popular, like, it gets kind of lame. I played some Fortnite today for the first time in a long time, Joe, and I thought it was awesome. I had a great little time. I didn't like, there was like a Ninja Turtles little themed area. It was rad. I liked it. So what are the plans? Well, you can't tell because I'm not going to move it around much, or maybe you can't tell, but I totaled the garage again. In literally a matter of like 3 weeks, this garage is trashed again. So we're going fixing that. Yeah, we're going fixing that. I gotta find some opportunities, so that's what I'll be working on next too. If you're looking to have something commissioned or printed, reach out to me. I'll work some out with you. I'll make it happen. Speaking of which, I need to figure out what's going on with them 22 Magnum magazines. I'd love to get those going, but $37 a mag. You can understand why I'd be scared off from that. And that's not even the hardware, and that's not a guarantee that they're going to be reliable. Like I said, it honestly looked like a design that somebody deconstructed all the components and did a 3D scan of at least of the complex parts, the follower and the bump. I wish I knew how to like harden or anneal the feed lips, maybe, so they're better. I suppose I could print it in nylon, but that's retarded. For what that is, I'm not doing that. That's going to be a $90 magazine at that point. But factoring in profit and everything, yeah. I'm a business after all. I also do software development as well. You have a thing you need built, or maybe you have an existing piece of software you need a feature added to it, hit me up. I'll work something out with you. Currently working on AI, trying to build local chat GPT with computer vision, but it needs to do a couple more. It needs to do a little bit more than just taking a description prompt and taking an image. It also needs to. I need to. Basically, I'm building a safe search that has. It's a safe search that has advanced heuristics filtering, so that it can present data to you in a way that will help you make actionable items quicker. So that's what we have to do. But that comes tomorrow. Because tonight, I'm watching some Beavis and Butthead, and I'm probably rolling another blunt. I'm thinking right now because I'm thinking about how do I charge that block? I've got a charger. I'll get that going. I want to charge that block battery right now to see if I can get it to power up the server so that we can legitimately be untethered. And then rather than using this mic, I will set up the Bluetooth and the Bluetooth mic so that it'll just kind of be right here, and it should be good. Oh wow. Okay. So to kill the stream, I'm thinking I can just cut the power, and that might be the best way to do it in terms of just being quick and simple. Almost kind of want to switch, or I suppose even the power button could work. Yeah, there's a power button on there. I'll use that. This is so sick, dude. Well, I'm signing off. I love you. I really do. I love you. But when I say I love you, let me go into that a bit. I said I was signing off. All right, so when I say I love you, I mean all of you. Every one of you. I do. Because I want you to love me. And I don't mean like unconditionally, like a mother loves a child or a father loves a child. I mean, if you see me fucking up, you need to tell me, hey, stop fucking up. Get your shit together. If if you see me hurting and you have bandages, you will give me some bandages, or you will even bandage me up. You will help me, just as I will help you. You understand the capacity to love and understand one another. And if you don't, that's what I'm here to teach you. And that's what I want you to teach to everyone else. Which is why I always ask you to please love your neighbor. I don't care if you believe in God or not. Believing in, an afterlife or not. None of that even matters. What does matter is what you do with your time and how you grow here, now, in the present. Growth doesn't happen through hate. Growth doesn't happen through greed. Growth does happen through love. And that's why it's paramount to recognize that we are all people. All of us. Even the worst. Even the worst of us. Unfortunately, the way I may love you is by using you with a wood chipper. Using a wood chipper on you. Unfortunately. But hey, my love is great. What are you doing to have me think that you need to be put in a wood chipper? Alright, well, like I said, I love you. Please love your neighbor.